Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction and haunted entertainment industry. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And what a weekend this has been.
Yes.
Behind the scenes here at Haunt Weekly, it has been a marathon session of content and generation for you guys.
So much so, Jonathan's forgotten how to talk.
I forgot all the words. All the words just blah out at once. It's like a fire. It's like a fire has lit somewhere in my brain, and all the words are trying to escape at once. It's great.
Yeah.
Yes, but anyways, we have been working very hard to produce podcasts. We take advantage of the time where a lot of people have a little bit of extra, free time over this Easter weekend to record lots of episodes that will be coming over the next few weeks. So expect lots of great interviews and some really, really cool stuff we're excited to share with you guys over the next month.
Yeah.
So that's our bulletin there. But yes, we have a lot to go over this week because it is episode 72, and that means it's the news. And so I gotta say, I am blown away by the amount of news there is.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. We're hoping to get through all of it.
And we're gonna have to work hard to get through it all, but I think we can do it. But let's kick this thing off with conference reminders, since we're not gonna be doing these for a little bit.
I know.
Crystal, please begin.
All right, May 1st through the 5th, we have Room Escape Conference and Tour, Niagara Falls, New York, Niagara Falls Conference and Event Center. They will be touring of Five Wits, Escape Games Canada, and Locked Up Escape Games. Conference is the 1st through the 3rd. The tours are the 4th through the 5th, and roomescapeshow.com. It's probably too late now.
Actually, you can if you have a passport office in your town.
If you have it in your town.
You can go in person and do it.
Yes.
That is your only hope, pretty much.
And pay a bunch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're going to get reamed for that one. So get your passports early next year for this one.
Well, if they got them this year, then,
They wouldn't have to get... Exactly. Anyways.
Yeah.
But after that, May 12th to the 14th, that's the West Coast Haunters Convention in Portland, Oregon, at the Doubletree Hotel. They'll be touring House of Shadows, a multi-attraction haunt. You can learn more at hauntersconvention.com, and I gotta say, this tour looks exciting. They have like 8 different things there.
Yeah.
This is not just some we're going to a singular haunt. No. This is much bigger than that.
Yes, it is. June 8th through 11th is Midwest Haunters Convention at the Greater Columbus Center in Columbus, Ohio. They'll be touring the Scaratorium, Scare Factor, Dead Acres, Haunted Hoochie, and hosting a late-night Monster Beach party. Now, most of that is all on the same day. So be sure to pick your poison.
Yeah.
You can find out more at MidwestHauntersConvention.com.
And then July 29th and 30th, it's Midsummer Scream, eek! In Long Beach, California, the Long Beach Convention Center. It's hosted by the Creepy LA and Theme Park Adventures people. Not a lot of information yet, but learn more at midsummerscream.org. 1 S in there. 2 S's. Midsummer Scream. You know what I meant?
Sure. All right. Then, August 5th through the 6th, we have Scare LA at the Los Angeles Convention Center in the West Halls. There will be more than 200 vendors and many panels on the haunted attraction business. ScareLA.com for more information on that.
And then after that, the last one on our list right now, Halloween and Haunt Fest Show. August 25th through 27th at Dallas, Fort Worth at the Mesquite Convention Center. Halloween and Haunt.com is your site. They just announced their first batch of classes.
Yes.
So go check it out.
Yep.
All right. Well, as we are doing other notes and reminders and so forth, we have to highlight something new coming up.
Yes.
That I'm very excited about. Reverend Michael is premiering Haunt Chat Live, a monthly video/podcast thing where they'll feature interviews with haunters.
Right. Well, no, they're interviewing the interviewers, as he puts it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we got invited on. That's how we know about it. The first one goes out May 6th, and you can learn more on Facebook at Haunt Chat Live.
Yeah, facebook.com/Haunt Haunt Chat Live.
Right.
Check it out, and hopefully we will be able to be on it sometime in the distant future. It's a monthly thing, and I think we're far back in the queue, but that's fine.
We're in April.
Oh, we're in April. Oh, we're not that far back then.
Yes, we're a year out.
Yeah, well, you got to admire the planning, though, that he has someone a year out. Literally, will be the 11th episode if it all works according to plan, and he's already planned that far out. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
You know, how many times have we on Sunday woken up and went, oh, damn, we need to record Haunt Week?
Yeah. What do you want to talk about today?
I don't know, Pinky. Yeah,
Let's go to the list.
Kudos, Reverend Michael, for your great planning. But yes, we have lots of news this week. Many, many things going on. And starting off this week, Universal Studios has unveiled its first haunted attraction, Halloween Horror. It's all the way back now. We're mid-April, man.
Yeah, they're getting
Taxes
an early
aren't
jump on
even
it. Well, by the time this goes live.
And they'll have another 24 hours.
Yeah, or less. Something like that.
By the time you listen to it, it's probably due.
You're like,
By the time this goes up, you still have a chance. But yes, but the first announcement is American Horror Story is getting a haunted attraction at Halloween Horror Nights this season. It will focus on the most recent season, Roanoke, but will also include some elements of previous seasons, Asylum and Coven. And also an interesting announcement from Halloween Horror Nights. This will be their longest run ever.
Cool.
They will be doing it for 34 nights.
None of that 31 night stuff.
No. They'll be doing it between September 15th and ending November 4th. That is a crazy long run for this big of a production.
That is.
Kudos to them for finding a way to make it work. I mean, wow. It's just, just one haunt operating that long is tough enough.
Right.
They have many, many, many haunts.
Yeah.
that they have to operate and maintain. So kudos to them and good luck. But yeah, we will. There is a trailer for the new American Horror Story Haunt in the show notes. I'll put it in there, link to it. And long story short, check that out because it looks really, really cool.
Yeah. All right. Next up in our list, Gorillaz, the band, has set to spook fans with real-life haunted houses.
Yeah, this one is really, really interesting. The article here is from Clarissa Longry at The Independent. But basically, the Gorillaz are doing this big comeback.
Right.
They've been away for 7 years, is my understanding. Their first North American tour in 7 years is coming up.
Right.
And so they have a new album called Humans with Human Z.
Yeah.
Humans.
Instead of an S, it's a Z.
Yeah, basically. But it comes paired with a 6-minute animated film that's part music video, part film piece.
Right.
It's very difficult to describe.
Yeah.
But it's named Saturn's Bars, all with Z's, and parenthetical Spirit House.
Yeah.
And what it does is it features the band going into a haunted house of sorts.
Yeah. Dilapidated at first.
Yes.
From the outside, it looks dilapidated, but once they get inside, spooky things start happening, and it becomes a haunted house.
Yes. Now, one thing that's interesting is the actual exterior of the house is based upon a real iconic house in Detroit.
Right.
That got photoed very heavily as the symbol of decay in Detroit.
Right.
And actually, right now, according to the most recent photos, the house looks quite lovely today.
Yeah.
Somebody apparently saw the photos and said, hey, opportunity, and fixed it up, and now they've got a really, really pretty brick house with not a lot around it. It looks very bucolic, actually, to use the $10 word.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks quite lovely now. But anyways, but to celebrate the release of the album and the video, the band is putting up a series of pop-up spirit houses at various cities all across the world.
Right. Which sounds pretty cool.
Now, your opportunities to go are unfortunately extremely limited.
Yeah.
They will be in Brooklyn from April 21st to the 23rd, Berlin from April 28th to the 30th, and Amsterdam on May 6th and May 6th alone. Admission to the haunt is free, but you must RSVP in advance. I would get on that because I'll have the link to RSVP is in the article, but it's sonos.com is the site, and you can just find the Gorillaz Haunted House from there. But yeah, this is really, really cool stuff. And we've been talking a lot lately about the use of these pop-up haunted houses to promote things. Bacardi did one last a bat-themed one.
Exactly.
Last Halloween season.
Which makes perfect sense with their logo.
Does. It really does. And of course, as I mentioned back then, I didn't even notice that Bacardi had a bat in the logo because I'm terrible.
Yeah. Basically. I think so I might be a little bit worse because I think the only reason I knew it was because of the Bacardi Mardi Gras beads that we see all over town.
Basically, none of us have looked at a Bacardi bottle long enough sober.
I didn't drink rum at that point.
True.
So...
And I don't drink much Bacardi.
Yeah.
Bacardi's not mine.
You like their... You like some of them.
I like their gold, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't drink... I tend to favor other brands of rum more than that, I would say. But still, the point remains, we're seeing this idea of these pop-up haunts being used for promotion. We saw one at South by Southwest. They did one... they've been doing them pretty regularly at South by Southwest. I think there was one this year. I can't remember what it was for.
Oakhart's the one I was thinking of.
Okay. Yeah, Oakhart's fine.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
But anyways, long and short of it is, we're seeing more and more of this, and I think it's a really, really cool way, to take haunting out of just the seasonal thing.
Right.
Because, like I said, April, May, for this haunt. But it's also a great way to open it up to a new audience who might not have traditionally gone to haunts and might discover they actually enjoy these.
Yeah.
Because,
that would be cool.
Gorillaz fans are going to be just as interested in this as haunt fans will be, I would think.
Yeah.
And Gorillaz are silly popular. I always forget how popular they are until they do a new release. And then it's like my Facebook feed just blows up with their stuff.
They're coming back!
Yeah, they're coming back. They're doing something new. And it's like, they're kind of like Weird Al in that everything they do is kind of a comeback album.
Yeah, his happens more frequently.
Yeah, but still, it's a very interesting idea, and I really am happy to see this working, and I would love to go to it. They talk in this article about how they're doing this really, really high tech, and they're trying to make it a very different type of experience. And those are just words that like make my little ears go and start tuning in to everything around it. But unfortunately, I am in none of these locations or anywhere near.
Right.
So, Brooklyn is literally the closest to my New Orleans. It'd be nice if they could do, like, Houston.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying they should come to New Orleans, even though if they were going to do it during, like, Jazz Fest or something, the audience might be there.
Well, it's not just that, but, I mean, we have a lot of buildings that could be purposed for this.
Yeah.
We have the dilapidated home housing for the elderly that's down the road from us. It's been abandoned for a few years.
Yeah, I have been wanting to turn that into a haunted house for pretty much as long as I've seen it.
Exactly.
And by the way, if you go to sonos.com, SONOS.com, the Spirit House link is literally on the homepage. Just scroll down, the tiniest bit, you will see it on the left. It's a big button, can't miss it.
Yep.
I'm trying to help you guys out if you're actually in the Brooklyn area and would like to go. Link will also be in the
other,
Yeah.
I'm sure we have a few international listeners.
Yeah, I'm sure we do too.
If you're out there,
let us know. Let us know so I stop ignoring you.
Yes. At Haunt Weekly at all the places.
Yeah, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, Haunt Weekly on Twitter. Just let us know. Yeah. All right. Now, this next one really lightens my heart.
Right.
This is, basically, there is a new film coming out entitled Spookers. This article is by Chris Alexander at comingsoon.net. But there's a new documentary entitled Spookers, which focuses at a famous New Zealand haunted attraction.
Right, and, Spookers.
Yeah, it's named Spookers. Yeah, it's appropriate enough. And looks like an awesome haunt.
It does.
Just want to say that. But I find it really, really great because this focuses on the side of the haunt industry we're all very familiar with.
Right.
We all know so well, but the outside world doesn't get to see that much, which is kind of the why we do it in the haunt family aspect of it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, watching the trailer for it, it's a very touching look. You see a bunch of people who feel like they're misfits, like they don't belong anywhere, and they find a super supportive, loving family that, they can belong, they can contribute something to, they can grow in.
Yeah.
And it's a big, big deal for them. You see what this means to them.
Right.
It's a really, really interesting video. Now, it's making its debut. It's an interesting film, not video. It's making its debut at Toronto's Hot Docs Festival. Now, the first few times I typed that out, I kept saying Hot Dogs Festival.
Yeah.
I was getting really confused why a film would debut at a hot dog festival.
Yeah, I actually had to check and make sure that it was hot dogs.
Yeah, it's hot docs, like documentaries, which makes much more sense for a documentary to debut at a documentary festival.
It does.
But still, my brain, apparently I'm hungry, is what I want. Maybe I need to eat a hot dog.
Yes.
But yes, it will be debuting there April 30th, and then there will be showings in April and Australian and New Zealand cinemas soon thereafter. Now, there is no word on this coming to the U.S. right now.
Or Netflix or anything.
Or Netflix or Canada or anything.
Yeah.
And my request here is, please, guys, try to get this to our side of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
I think this needs to be, because everywhere there's a haunt culture, I think needs to have this movie or access to it.
Right. And it also looked like their community that they're based in also supports the haunt very well. There were a few outdoor shots that look like just regular people out of costume joining in on the fun.
And they also talked about something else that is a phenomenon we've seen all over the place but doesn't get discussed much outside the industry, which is the sheer number of people who have never watched a horror movie, who hate being scared, hate gory, scary stuff. They faint at the sight of blood, whatever. Yeah. Spoiler episode. They do all this stuff, but yet they love working in a haunted house. Yeah. And I love the elderly woman saying, I'm just painting the two-headed babies with blood so they can go in the incubators. Yeah. Just as casual as can be, dry brushing blood on the two-headed babies. Mm-hmm. Like grandma making a quilt. It was so beautiful. Yes. I'm like, my world. Yes. But yes, this is so great. We after the episode we did about Houses October Built, and yes, it was a horror film that was a fake documentary, but it still presented certain parts of the industry in a very negative light. Yeah. It is nice to see an actual documentary that is preparing to show us as we see us. Right. And I think that's a beautiful, wonderful thing, and I just can't wait for this. I hope it is on Netflix super soon. I may be jerking away tears when I watch it. Oh. I have a feeling.
Yeah, there are a few others that we found, and if you know of any that we need to see, please let us know.
Definitely.
Because we'd love to watch that stuff.
Yes, we do. We are saps. We are suckers. We are.
I was just thinking we were interested in documentaries about haunted houses, but sure, we're that too.
Well, we have to sit down and watch Hell House. Yeah. I've seen it. But
yeah, I have too.
Oh, that's right.
We watched it with you.
Okay, that's right. That's right. I'd seen it previously, but then we saw it together. That's right. I remember now. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
We watched it for our Hell House on this podcast.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. God, this is what happens when you do 72 episodes of a podcast. Yes. You really start to forget things. And it's already happened a couple of times where we've come up with topic ideas. Yeah. And I go to make sure we haven't done them, and we've done them. Yep. And so then we had to go back and either make it the sequel or find a new approach on them. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of Australia and New Zealand. Yeah. The Real Housewives of Sydney, to which there are two things to say. There's a Real Housewives of Sydney, dear God.
What have we done?
B, and two, dear God, we exported this terrible thing to Australia.
Exactly. That's the what have we done part.
Yeah. Oh God, this is terrible. But they paid a visit to a haunted attraction in a recent episode to Kiss FM's Kyle and Jackie O's haunted house. I have no idea what this haunt is. I've never heard of it. But it's an actual haunted attraction. We talked previously about, was it The Bachelor? Yeah. Went to a haunted plantation, but that was one of those real ghost thingies. Yeah. This one was an actual, what we think of when we say haunted attraction, with actors and a walkthrough. And apparently these women got scared a great deal.
No shock there.
And they were apparently the absolute worst customers you can fathom, because they repeatedly cussed at, flipped off, and berated.
So basically, if they hadn't paid the haunt to let them be on TV, they probably would have been thrown out.
Yeah, basically, I'm pretty sure. They sounded like the type of people that would have been shown the door for being that level of verbally abusive and aggressive toward the actors.
Yeah.
They threw insults at each other. I'm sure other stuff happened in the episode, but I really can't be bothered to check it out. But if you're interested in seeing how haunted attractions are being portrayed in mainstream media, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
The one for you to look up, I don't know where to find it. I didn't bother checking if it's in Netflix or anything. Really, you're on your own. I read the article. That's as far as you're getting out of me on this particular story. Right. Other stories I'll care way more about, I promise. Like this next one. Yeah. This one you found. This is a great story here.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into actual haunted attraction news. Kings Island, located in Mason, Ohio, and I always love how you have these big theme parks located in towns you've just never heard of.
Right. Well, that's the only way to get all of the space for the parking.
Well, that's true. Well, you know, when they opened Disney World up in Florida, I mean, first thing Walt Disney did was buy up like a bajillion acres of orange groves.
Yeah.
And then tore it out and started building stuff because what he didn't want to have happen there is what happened to Disneyland in California. Where, like, right across the street you had seedy hotels and stuff sort of living off the Disneyland economy. He wanted to avoid that. But anyways, that's an aside. But this article by Louisville Halloween talks about a new roller coaster that they have opened up called Mystic Timbers that is actually haunted attraction themed.
Yes.
The long and short of it is this coaster centers around the idea of an abandoned lumber mill.
Right.
And the marketing campaign, which I think has been pretty brilliant.
Yeah, I've watched some of the videos.
It's, what's in the box? What's in the shed?
Yeah.
It's what's in the shed. And the idea is that there's this shed that something is in and you don't know what that is until you do the ride.
Right. And I read part of a review because it got to spoilers and, well, you know, while we probably won't go to it, there's always a chance.
Yeah.
So I didn't want spoilers.
No.
But basically, it takes you up through a regular roller coaster ride, and then your coaster stops outside of the shed. So you have that moment of anticipation before you go into the haunted attraction part, which is nice. I like that idea.
Now, I've read a couple of reviews of it, and now, like I said, I'm like you. I've been trying to avoid spoilers. I know what's in there is a haunted attraction.
Yeah.
That much is patently obvious, I think.
Yeah.
And that's been confirmed. But I've read reviews of it, and people have been saying that it is a very, very solid roller coaster. If you like it's a wooden coaster.
Yeah.
So if you like wooden roller coasters, this is a really good one. I happen to be a big fan of wooden roller coasters. Yeah. I love, like, the Raven at Holiday World.
Right.
That was a beautiful...
Clackety.
You just get... Wooden roller coasters give you a feeling, a tactile feeling you don't get in metal ones, to me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's scarier, it's more guttural in its experience.
It's primal.
It's very difficult to explain. But it's like, with a metal one, it's even like the really sharp loop-de-loops and crazy stuff, you never really feel like you're in any danger. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's not only that, but I think the metal ones go a little bit faster, or at least they feel that way when you're on them because they're so smooth.
They usually do, yeah.
So you know it's going to be over sooner.
Yeah.
At least that's the way my brain interprets it.
Yeah. And yes, I know. But also, my favorite part of wooden roller coasters historically has been when the coaster goes underneath itself and like does things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get that in a metal roller coaster, but you don't get the same effects. You're not going like through the structure of it.
Right, exactly.
You don't get quite the same effects. So, but anyways, apparently the roller coaster itself has been very well reviewed. Mm-hmm. It was actually put together, it was actually designed and put together by Great Coasters International Incorporated. That's a name that does not flow off the tongue in any meaningful way. But they, this is a very, very cool combination of both a roller coaster and a haunted attraction. And the reviews went on to say that the haunted attraction part, while cool and while unique, it doesn't necessarily make or break the coaster. Yeah. They said it was good. They said they liked it. They enjoyed it. But they could, the roller coaster was fine without it, basically. It's a good roller coaster apart from it.
Okay.
That's basically the idea that I've been hearing. So yeah, I really love this idea. I like seeing haunted attractions in places I don't necessarily expect them.
Yeah.
And all I can remember as I'm going through this is like Splash Mountain. Because the Splash Mountain in Disney, if you've never done Splash Mountain, I think I've talked about it before on the podcast.
Probably.
But the main thing about it is you go, and everyone knows about Splash Mountain, the big flipping drop. And they want to take your photo and all that stuff. But after the drop, you have another like 45 seconds to a minute of going through these Brer Bear, Brer Fox animatronics.
Right.
Which, A, you're acknowledging Song of the South.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that one, but it's just interesting to know what Disney's doing. And
yeah.
But yeah, and that's why whenever everybody, you watch the people get off the ride when you're getting ready to get on, everyone's got this what the hell look on their face. Because it's like dropping. You expect people to be like super scared.
Yeah.
Because they're getting off. But no, everyone's just like, dude, what the... Yeah. Everyone's really confused.
So what they should do is, this is what I'm hearing, they should move the Haunted Mansion at the end of Splash Mountain so that you actually ride the roller coaster through the mansion.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome. Just like one long interconnected...
Exactly.
It'd be very difficult because Splash Mountain's a water ride and the Haunted Mansion's a rail ride.
Yeah.
But yes, I would love to hit the bottom of Splash Mountain and then immediately start going through like the
track change or something.
To somehow make this happen, Disney. This is a free idea. We're giving it to you, no charge. If you make it happen, just do this. It will be awesome. Or hell, just build or even if that's too much money, build a regular roller coaster that ends into the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. This will never happen.
No,
this will never happen.
Of course not.
Alright, well here's something that we do hope will happen. This sounds pretty neat to me. Article by Danielle Grady at the News and Tribune in Albany, New York. Mm-hmm. Johann Podolsky?
Yes.
My tongue does not like these letters.
that sounds correct.
Is aiming to turn an 1800s State Street home into a haunted attraction. Which, he sounds like he's got ambiance pretty well covered.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because even though 1800s is not as old of a home as it sounds, like we have homes in our city that go further back.
Right.
The architecture is still very, very different and very creepy by today's standards.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, so definitely worth checking out if they're able to get it open. But anyways, the problem is it's currently zoned for multifamily or office use. So he needs to get a zoning change.
Yes.
He made a proposal, and the neighbors do not seem too keen on his idea.
Of course not.
You mean?
You know.
Basically, the motion was tabled until the next city council meeting, but the neighbors were complaining about issues of parking, crime, and noise.
Yeah, and I don't understand why a haunted attraction would bring crime to the area.
Yeah, that's the... Okay, parking issues I completely understand.
Yeah, noise I understand, because people screaming and stuff.
Yeah, those are two things that make total sense. Then you just bring more people into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Even if they're not screaming their heads off, there's going to be more noise. There's going to be car horns slamming car doors.
Yeah.
Things like that. I get noise and parking, I understand. Crime, I don't get it. Has any of you guys seen an uptick in crime due to a haunted attraction? In a weird way, I think a haunted attraction, especially if it has security in front of house actors and people watching the outside area, would have less crime because now there's no people and there's people to watch stuff and report stuff.
Yeah. Now a lot of times haunted houses will build in a less populated area that already has crime in it. But that's not the haunted house bringing crime to the area. Yeah,
that's like the House of Shock problem there. They built in an area that was not particularly well done, particularly safe.
Well, yeah.
Not especially bad.
No, it's a warehouse district.
Yeah, it's a warehouse district, and that's one of the reasons why it's just always be careful to double lock your car and hide your valuables.
Yeah.
We've never had a problem with parking anywhere nearby. We've never had an issue or an incident. We don't know anyone who has.
Well, the car next to us the first year we went.
We have observed it, but we have not been a victim of it.
They were driving like a Mercedes or something.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, tip 3. Don't bring your Mercedes.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a beat up car then, and we had trash all over the floor.
We had the greatest anti-theft device known to man, a 1996 Saturn SL2.
Yes.
We would have to pay the thieves to break it.
Yeah.
But yes, long and short, I don't get the crime one, but I do understand the others, and they're planning on coming back and addressing some of these issues. They're going to talk about how they're hiring security for this haunt, and how they're going to provide a shuttle service to a nearby parking lot where there is adequate space. Now, I worry a little bit about that shuttle idea.
Because that came up last season.
At Hell's Gate.
Yes.
Which, of course, Hell's Gate was some self-inflicted wounds. They oversold their Groupon. And as a result, the shuttles were a major choke point for getting to the haunt.
Right.
But if you have adequate shuttles, if you have, and especially if you make the shuttles part of the experience somehow.
Right.
If you have adequate shuttles and adequate throughput, it's actually a pretty good way to handle it.
Oh, that would be really cool.
What?
Is if you themed the shuttle and then you had one of your characters on the shuttle telling the rules for the haunt.
Oh, that'd be good.
So that they get the rules told to them on the way.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And then if the shuttle became a roller coaster that then went to the Haunted Mansion.
Yes, exactly.
That would be really good.
Well, it drops you off in front of a haunted house. How much more do you want? Really?
Oh, this episode is officially a fever dream, apparently.
Yes.
I feel like the third grader designing a haunted house on notebook paper. That's what I want to make. I want a jet engine that also has propellers. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But yeah. But also worth noting, though, that if the haunt does come to fruition, most of the funds, it would be a charity haunt with most of the proceeds going to local charities. So here's hoping that they're able to appease the neighbors and all are happy and satisfied with the outcome.
Yes.
All right, another haunt in Ottumwa, Iowa. Wow. Guys, you might want to workshop the name.
You hadn't tried to say that out loud.
No, I hadn't. I had not. I did the show notes and literally did not try to say that one out loud. Oh my God.
Because you would have said, hey, you want to take this one?
This is an article by Mark Newman of the Ottumwa Courier, which that's much easier to say. Yeah. But Ottumwa, Iowa, located in southeast Iowa, is home to Nightmare on 3rd Street, and they are beginning work. However, they are putting out a distress signal because they need assistance. They need both supplies and, most importantly, hands.
Yes. They need help building.
If you are in that area, they've made the phone number public, so I guess we can share it here.
Yeah.
It's not like we're doing additional privacy violations. But if you're in the area and interested in helping out, 641-814-3512 to call and volunteer. The full information will be in the show notes at hauntweekly.com. You can go there, get all the details, everything about where the haunt exactly is located and all that. But yeah, if you're in that area and you've been wanting to work on a haunted attraction, this is the place to go. And like they said, they need about 35 volunteers to act in it.
Yeah.
And they said that the best roles will go to the people who help build it, and plus the people who help build it get a say in the room. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
If you help build, you get a say in your room, you get to talk about how you want your scares to work, you get to build the scares in.
Well,
a little, you know what I mean?
Sometimes.
Yeah. You get input. Where if you don't, you just show up to act, it's this deal of, look, this is the room, this is how we designed it, make it work.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean?
Yes. I designed it with you in mind. Here is what you have to play with.
If you are not happy with that, come earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yes, they need both 2x4s, plywood, and other lumber, as well as hands that can swing hammers. Though I'm seriously hoping they are primarily using drills.
Yeah.
We don't swing that many hammers in our haunt.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, no. We got away from nails as much as possible.
After the first year.
After the first year, and that cluster duck. And the only time I think we really swing hammers now are rubber mallets to free up stuck things.
Yeah.
And put things in the position.
And if something we're going to destroy anyway, you like to tear down those with a hammer. Hey,
it's fun. It's stress relief. Get the sledge and take a few whacks and have a little fun. It's great. It's a good time. Yeah. Demolition's always the most fun part of construction. Everybody knows that. Well, this next one really intrigued me a little bit here because this is an article by Sharon Montague at the Salina Journal. But in Russell, Kansas, the local Masonic Lodge number 177 Hey, I know nothing about Masonic lodges, so you're on your own here.
Apparently.
But they are hoping to open up. They had a haunted attraction in previous years. They're hoping to open it back up this year, but they are needing to fundraise for it. So they are doing a donut sale, which sounds like every 6th grade classroom.
Okay, so now that I work at a college, it's also every club on college sells Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh, jumping Jehoshaphat.
At least, twice a month.
How do you maintain your figure?
I don't buy the donuts.
That's probably a good solution.
Well, and that's part of the aggravation there is that there are so many good donut places that they're going to, that they're passing by to go and get. Not that I don't like Krispy Kreme, but there are other options.
Krispy Kreme is magical as all hell when the red light is on.
Yeah.
But we have a very strange and interesting donut culture in our section of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Other parts of New Orleans don't really have it.
Right.
But here where we are in the West Bank side of the river, it's like donut and coffee shop galore, late night donut central.
Yeah, 24 hours.
It's amazing and all kinds of wonderful, yummy stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, the best donuts in New Orleans actually was recently awarded to a little donut shop about 3 miles from our house.
Yeah.
And it's this little hole in the wall. Looks like it's falling down on itself, probably because it is.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah.
But they have good donuts.
But they do have very good donuts. They have very good donuts.
Anyway, so back to
this haunted Masonic Lodge in Kansas. What I found interesting about it is we talk a great deal about how haunted attractions are used as fundraisers.
Right.
Here's one place that is fundraising to open the haunt.
Right.
It seems like opposite day to me.
Yes.
But yeah, if you're interested, you can order them at several local businesses. We'll have the link in the description and the show notes at hauntweekly.com. Payments must be in by Wednesday, so hurry it up if you happen to be in that area.
Yep.
All right, and now we're coming to our final story. We've got a little bit of time to discuss this. We're wrapping things up a little bit early, which is good because I actually really wanted to focus on this story some.
Okay.
But this really fascinated me. It's an article by Jennifer Walker of The Independent. And basically, the headline of the article reads, "Escape Rooms, the craze sweeping the world goes back to its Hungarian roots."
Yeah.
Now, I had never really thought too much about the origin of modern escape rooms, to be completely honest.
I thought that they had
Chinese and
Japanese.
Basically Western Asian roots.
Exactly.
And that was my understanding too, was that they really sort of the craze took off.
Right.
In those areas, and that may very well be the case.
Yeah.
But this article is making the claim that the first one of the modern system, they're very specific about what they consider a modern escape room, to be fair here. Right. They're saying that there were ones previously where the puzzles were damn near impossible. You needed multiple tries to go through it.
Yeah.
There was just you had no hope of completing it on your first pass. You were screwed. But these were meant to be approachable by beginners. Mm-hmm. And according to that, the first one was built by Budapest local Attila. Oh, Christ. Gurkovics? Seems about right, actually. Attila.
Yes.
Attila made the first haunting, and he drew inspiration from the first escape room in that style, drawing inspiration from local ruins, and we'll get into those in just a minute, and local psychiatrist and team building sort of philosophies that existed in Budapest at that time. Right. And he wanted it to be primarily a team-building exercise to teach people how to collaborate and work together and just generally sort of come together as a unit by giving them a series of puzzles that, while difficult, were, as he noted, approachable by beginners. These rooms were meant to be beaten the first time through. Yeah. But it was meant to be a challenge, and that's that thing about needling that challenge so you escape at 55 minutes, not 35 minutes. And yeah. So, yeah. But all in all, according to them, it began there, and it sort of became a worldwide phenomenon. It's very, very probable that it started there and it sort of spread eastward. Right. And then went into Eastern Asia. I said Western Asia for some reason. It's Eastern Asia. Geography, Jonathan. Nobody eat shredded wheat. Yes. remember your compass, Jonathan. But anyways, now the city is playing host to the first ever escape room world championship. It's Mission Unlock Enoch. Yeah. And it's over 9,000 people participated in the qualifying rounds.
Wow.
And now teams from 22 countries are attempting to break out of a custom-designed room by some of the best designers in the industry.
Wow. That sounds very impressive.
It does. And I'm very excited about this. This could potentially be a big leap forward and sort of calming some of my concerns about escape rooms.
Yeah.
Because I always, when I see that things become a fad,
right,
my first thought isn't, "Ooh, fad, lots of money made it." Well, what happens after...
Yeah.
What happens after the fad dies out? Well, then we're in trouble, aren't we? We just spent all this money on an escape room that is now so 2016.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's like so 2017.
Oh.
It's
And we've lost Jonathan.
Yes, we have. Well, we never had me, to be fair. But so I worry about that. But one of the things that keeps things like this, one of the ways things like this might have a lasting impact is when they get a hardcore competitive following.
Right.
Laser tag was kept afloat largely by hardcore competitive following, for example.
Right. And it's still around. It's just still not as popular. But
we've got a fair number of arenas here in New Orleans.
We do.
It may not be as popular as it was in its peak years, but it's still around. It's still a moneymaker for a lot of people.
Yeah, and there are some competitions still being held locally.
Oh yes. And that's one of the signs, is that when you get that hardcore competitive crowd, you've got a core group of people that are going to sort of be the evangelists for this game.
Yeah.
Those 9,000 people that literally competed in the World Escape Room Championships, those are your evangelists.
Yeah.
They will be the ones to spread the word about escape room games far and wide.
Yeah, and they'll be able to tell you which ones are good to go to and which ones aren't.
Yeah, exactly. This is the group that's going to keep that fire lit, even if maybe in the general public's eye it sort of falls out of favor a little bit and becomes a little more passé.
Right.
It doesn't mean that escape rooms are going to stay at the same level of popularity they are today, but it does mean that there is hope that if the public interest does wane, it doesn't end up completely cratering.
Right.
That there is going to be motivation. And as Dwayne noted when we interviewed him about this, and we asked him about this exact issue, he talked about how the escape rooms in Canada and China and Japan are still going strong.
Right.
So,
and how ones that are just out of the box and not creative will probably die off, but the really good ones that people put time into will stick around.
Hopefully. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I would really, really like it if the escape room trend really rewarded creativity.
Yeah.
But reading this article and thinking about the escape room craze, I never really put Budapest and escape rooms in the same box, pun intended.
No.
But this article made it very clear and made it very understandable why maybe I should.
Yeah.
Because we've been to some of these ruined pubs that they talk about in this, and they are very, very interesting. Budapest, the history of Hungary, especially in recent years, is basically the story of who conquered them last.
Yeah. And how much did they have to rebuild afterwards?
Exactly. And there are significant sections of the city that never were fully rebuilt after World War II.
Right.
Most core areas were, but there's significant parts if you go further away from the Danube River, especially, that were not. And locals, rather than just letting these buildings go to waste, opened up trendy nightclubs and bars in them. Yeah. And they're inexpensive, I gotta say. You if you're an American, you almost never drink cheaper than you will in Budapest. Yeah. Guarantee you that much. They're inexpensive, but they are really, really cool. They're very artistic. They focus heavily on local art and having artists come in and do interesting displays. Right. There's lots of trinkets all over the place, and there's stuff to find while looking around. Yeah, and that's the other thing is they're very decor heavy, but like you said, they're very detail oriented. Right. In a very unusual way. It's very hard, very eclectic, I guess is what I'm looking for. Yeah, I would think that Zot's here in New Orleans would be the closest we can get. The closest we can get, yeah. And even that doesn't seem to necessarily work too well. Yeah, because it's a coffee shop, not a bar. It's a coffee shop, not a bar. Yeah. And it also, even though the building is falling apart, it's... Yeah, but that kind of decoration style. Yeah, I get that. And I agree with that. But... yes, being there, it's easy to see how you could be in that environment and draw inspiration for an escape room to create the idea for the modern escape room game. Right. And I don't know, I really found that fascinating. Like I said, I never put the two together in my mind. Right. But it really made a lot of sense. And having spent 2 wonderful weeks in Budapest, it really was very cool. I gotta say, I'm glad to see that they're hosting the World Championships there. It seems very appropriate.
It does, and it,
Yeah. But yeah, I also find it interesting that it took inspiration from a local psychiatrist and sociologist.
Yeah.
Sort of a local philosophy on this, on team building and psychiatry, that took off and became a game.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, and you can see the influences there because, there is a lot of team building, a lot of cooperation built into escape rooms.
Yes.
I don't know of any that one person could do by themselves.
Yeah.
I'd like to try it, but
I'm kind of glad. I do wish there were more escape rooms targeted at couples.
Yeah.
At 2 people. You don't see many that have a maximum lower than 4.
Right.
And
a minimum.
Yeah, minimum. I mean, a minimum of less than 4. And that's weird because even in our relationship as a triad, we only have 3 at the ready.
Right.
We've got to go out and recruit a 4th somewhere.
Yeah.
You got to go find someone. And if you're a couple, that means you have to go on a double date with another couple or something like that. And it's frustrating if you just want to do a casual date night with your partner.
Right.
And so I do think it'd be cool if more escape rooms were easily doable with 2 people.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, it seems like a great date night activity to me.
It does.
It seems like a fun way. Because, especially if you're a fairly new couple and you're struggling with things to talk about.
Yeah.
What happens every time we do an escape room? What happens as we leave?
We talk about it.
We're in the escape room less than an hour because we've gotten out of every one. God damn it.
Yeah.
But then we proceed to spend at least 3 or 4 hours talking about it afterward, usually over dinner, then usually,
Yeah.
So plan this like at the beginning of your night, and as long as you 2 don't completely kill each other in the room.
Which, if that's the case, you found out you can't work together.
Yeah, there you go. Relationship over. Bada bing. We saved you a lot of time.
Exactly.
So, something to think about. But yes, very cool. The Escape Room World Championship taking place in Budapest.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody that we know is going to be there.
I'm curious about that
or
too.
helped build it.
Yeah. I know we have a lot of great escape room designers here in the States.
Well, yeah, not only that, but in the haunt community.
Area. Yeah, in the haunt community. Yeah.
If any of our listeners are partaking in this,
But how cool would it be to do an escape room custom made for you and mine, basically, which is what this is for these teams.
It's built. We know that we're getting the best, so we're going to make it as hard as possible.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, that is.
That is awesome. Well, that's all the news we have this week. Anything else you want to add, Crystal? Anything else you want to think about?
No.
No, I think it's been a very productive weekend for Haunt Weekly. I'm looking forward to posting all of the wonderful interviews we've been doing over the next few weeks. I do not know the order. We will make the order up as we go, I'm pretty sure.
It's like most of the rest of the song.
We just make everything up as we go.
Yeah.
But on that note, everyone, thank you very much for spending the past hour with us. It's been wonderful having you. Hopefully you are a little better educated about the goings-on in the haunted attraction industry this past month. But until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Haunt Weekly episode number 72, doing the news. Follow us on Twitter at Haunt Weekly. Follow us on Facebook at Haunt Weekly. Or just check us out at hauntweekly.com for the full show notes with all the links that you can click on and go bloop, 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 and be taken to these original stories. Thank you very much, and we will see you guys next week.